Well, Tess, I think we may be live. It's always hard to tell because Zoom is always just going rejecting our page. But welcome everyone to once again our soul powered activation. I'm just going to turn this off so that I don't have any other sounds coming through. And we've got Tess on with us yet again. Doesn't a month go past quickly?
Well, yeah, this month particularly.
You've had a lot going on in that month as well. So what we're doing today, of course, is our monthly soul powered activation here in the group with Tess Vergara, who works with soul powered leaders such as yourself as coach and change makers. So if you are in my group as a coach or a change maker, we want to do more than, you know, just little backyard life coaching sessions. We really are more about greater visibility, greater message, and really leading into the new era, as I like to see it. So I see everyone in this group who is a coach and change maker as people who are bringing in the new era. There's a lot of changes happening around. So what Tess does with these very, very simple activations, but simple doesn't mean they're not powerful. They're really powerful. And I like to just sit back, mute myself, take my video off, close my eyes and listen. So I suggest to everyone else, you kind of settle into this activation with Tess and yeah, close your eyes, sit back, listen. Of course, if you want to comment and whatnot, please do. I'm sure Tess will answer any comments that you have when she finishes your activation. So yeah, Tess, just tell us a little bit about the activation before I unmute myself and let yourself go.
Well, hello. Well, spotlighters, change makers, welcome. And thank you, Vanessa, for having me again here. And thank you for being that soul-powered leader that holds me accountable and on track to fulfill my soul mission and vision and purpose. This work is definitely not for the faint of heart. So
no, it's not, is it?
Especially this last month, from the last time I was here, so many things have happened, and you know, it's so easy to focus on what's going on out there and totally forget. I gave myself a couple of weeks, maybe 3, and it's getting harder and harder to really focus on that soul mission and vision and purpose. So it really takes a community, it really takes a powerful soul powered leader like Vanessa to really hold that space for me too. And I'm sure a lot of the members here can say the same thing, because it isn't for the faint of heart. And so what we're activating today is authentic confidence, which is what we need so much right now.
All right, well, I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to turn off my video, sit back, relax, mute. And of course, when you finish, Tess, we'll come back on because we've got something exciting to talk about as well after your activation. But I hope that those of you joining us and those of you that have tuned into the replay do take this time just to sit back and just feel this, so that you are actually, because as Tess said, this journey we're on, if you really do want to step up as a known coach, you know, that is out there leading with your message and your work, Tess's work is actually for you. So sit back and enjoy, and I will see you the other end, Tess.
Thank you. Yeah, so the last time I was here, to those who listened to it, and I think it's still available on replay, I mentioned that I could hear helicopters hovering. It was very ominous, and I felt so good at that time that no matter what was going on, I was able to remain calm and deliver, you know, stay centered in my heart. And whenever I do these presentations, I come away really flying so high. And little did I know back then, my neighborhood was going down in flames as I was talking to you guys. So a few hours later, you know, I saw what was happening, and then the power went out. My cell phone only had 50% charge. And instead of going on panic mode, I collected myself and I commanded my subconscious, okay, I need to sleep. I need to get rest. There's no sense for me to use up what was remaining of my battery charge on my cell phone. And so I did. I got some sleep that night, and I was able to reassess the next day what I was gonna do. But we are all facing this unpredictability one after another. It's nonstop, right? It's so unprecedented what we're experiencing. Even Tony Robbins, I am a certified Robbins Madonna strategic intervention coach, and this week Tony is doing a comeback challenge, which I am taking part of. And if you are doing it too, let me know. Comment and let me know how it's going for you. So even Tony Robbins himself said he was taken off guard by what is happening in our country and in the world. And really, there isn't a soul that is not affected by the crumbling of the old paradigm, of the old world, of the 3D consciousness, of the old fear-based blame, shame, control, power grab world. It's crumbling, it's going down, and it's up to us to stand in authentic confidence and watch the deconstruction without getting lost in it, right? Without getting without losing ourselves, without losing our soul, without selling our soul. So be in the world, but not of it. So it's really not for the faint of heart. And if you're a coach, you're a change maker, you're meant to be a leader. So we're watching the collapse happens. We're watching the dismantling happening with divine neutrality, with divine inspiration, with divine knowing, right? And we're here to bridge to the new world, to the new era that Vanessa is talking about. So it's really difficult, especially for those who have been working on opening up their hearts, right, in the self development work, right? Doing the inner work. Quite a lot of us heart centered light workers here in Vanessa's group who function from resonance rather than from logic or emotion alone. Can you resonate? It's hard to to resonate with people out there functioning from fear, right? Do you notice that? So when you're functioning from resonance, not from logic or emotion, it's like I can't even communicate any longer. You get crucified for speaking your truth, for standing up on what you truly, truly stand for. So we just know, except the world out there, you know, that wants proof, that wants evidence, and won't shift their beliefs unless you convince them. But the convincing is old paradigm, and that's not sustainable any longer. And yeah, it's no longer about convincing anyone. It's just going to create pushback and resistance. It's creating more division, more misunderstanding, more heartbreak, more hate, more recycling the same negative energy into shame, blame, judgment, criticism, more separation. So as a soul powered leader, as a change maker, right? Even if you say something with the best of intention, sometimes it's much easier not to say anything at all, because to go against popular opinion, you get crucified, you get attacked. But that doesn't have to be our experience. And it can be a very jarring experience, and it can be quite draining, quite triggering, quite sickening, right? It really lowers our vibration when functioning from that fear powered consciousness. So that would be the experience if you are not standing fully in your soul power. So the invitation is to stand in authentic confidence and align with your highest truth and the highest love that you are, the highest vibration of love that you are, that you can allow and activate inside of you. Even when the external world is doing its damnedest to pull you down and fuel an internal conflict and division, when you're standing sourced from within yourself, sourced from your soul power, it's going to be okay. You can never be wrong, right? So let's do that now. So that's my intention, is to really activate And this is something that you do for you. um, I'm just inviting you into this space that we create here in this group as a group intention, so that all who are here right now and all those who will be joining us on the replay can join us in this space of profound healing, for divine activation, for empowerment, to witness, to encounter, to experience and express the light of our soul. And so we create that intention that this soul connection, once activated in our awarenesses, then becomes sustainable and evident in our day-to-day beingness, in our day-to-day awarenesses, and maintain that intention to connect with our spiritual power, our soul power, without having to remind ourselves any longer. It's just a beingness versus a doing, versus adaptation, versus doing what they want us to do in order to be acceptable to them. But this way we are doing it, authentic confidence that you don't have to ever compare yourself to someone. You don't ever have to beat yourself up that you're never good enough, because that's authentic confidence. That's your authentic soul showing up as who you are. So let's do that now. And I really do need to do this too for myself. Let's just take a few cleansing breaths and release any outdated, any attachment to identity, to being right, to being wrong, any attachment to behaviors or habits or expectation that something has to be a certain way. Whatever is no longer serving our highest good and our highest expression for the highest good of all. If it's not aligned to that, clear, let it go, breathe it out. And take another breath. And this time, if you can breathe from the core of the earth and bring it into your heart, through your heart, and at the same time, breathe from the heavens. Bring in the heaven through your heart. Really bring in the highest frequency of light that you can allow yourself to bring in. Connect with this creator breath, with this breath that's bridging heaven on earth right here in your own heart. Really connect with this space in your heart, bridging heaven and earth, and ask your guides and angels, ask the creator of all that is, for the highest perspective, for the highest knowing, to know with authentic confidence what it is that truly matters most to you. Beyond the attachment to our messed up plans, right? To our goal settings that didn't happen because it got interrupted. Beyond the confines of wearing masks or sheltering in. Beyond the riots and chaos and the burning and the looting. Really connect with the creator breath. Breathe in from the depths of the earth. Before we can create a new world, a new reality, before we can know what is the next action step to do, we got to feel deep down in our heart, into our soul, what it is that we came here to do, and really allow it to be revealed in this moment, in the now. Or maybe even if it's not revealed right now, it'll be when you're in the shower, when you're relaxed, but just open up to it. If you're open to receiving it, activate it now, allow it to happen now, to be revealed to you what it is that means the most to you, what it is that you stand for. You really breathe in from the highest frequency of light, from the core of the earth, and really create space in your heart for whatever it is that you're meant to create, whatever it is that you're meant to do, whatever it is that you were born to do. And so sit up straight and feel the vertical integration of your four pillars: the physical body, the emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body, and feel all four pillars lining up as one pillar of light, connecting heaven on earth. And really give yourself permission to discover your soul mission, your soul vision, and your purpose, and really connect it. And when you know this, when you align with this, when you embody this, the authentic confidence emanates from your core. There is no questioning who you are any longer. There's no fearing other people judging you, making you wrong, or having to defend yourself, or what it is that you know deep inside is true. And people can judge and project their unresolved fears on you. The world can choose hurt over love, but you are strong, you are unwavering, you know your truth, and no one can diminish what you know is true deep, deep inside your soul. You never ever will allow anyone again to insult, to assault, or imprison your soul. You are free. You are free. And with that freedom comes authentic confidence and knowing that you are right here where you're meant to be. Right here, right now, in this sacred now moment. So take a deep breath. And if let's cut some cords, any energetic cords that you may have borrowed, you may not have known, you've inherited, because you were young, it was what you were taught, or maybe because you were feeling insecure, unworthy, not enough, damaged, broken, all this dysfunctional cords that we borrowed just to get by, just so to survive the world. We can return those cords now to their owner, to their source, with so much love, with so much gratitude, with so much peace in our heart, knowing who you really are on the level of soul is now emerging from dormancy. It's now waking up and is awake. There is no limit to what you can co-create with the universe when you are awake, when you are sourced from soul power. My client had a huge breakthrough this week. She was looking back and realized that even in the midst of shaming herself and beating herself up, that no matter what she does, it wasn't good enough, that finally she saw through the veil of illusion. She looked back and saw that even while she was busy shaming herself, she was actually progressing after all. She was just so busy working on approval and recognition from others that she didn't realize her own worth, her own power, her own soul presence. And now she does. And now she does. And from that point of realization, realize, it's just so empowering. And so that is my intention for you too, and for myself, that our soul, the light of our soul, is what will guide us forward, not the needs from a material based perspective, but from what our soul really came here to do. Because from that space, we become the vessel of love, we become the vessel of peace and harmony ourselves when we finally allow for it to happen. So imagine there's a switch that you can turn on, like that light bulb that you pull it and then there's a whole light bulb on. Do that with me. Let's just pull that cord and then click, and feel that light bulb come on, and feel your whole body, your energetic field just light up. Let's turn on that switch. Let's turn on that light. That's who you are. You are light. The soul is your light. And with every moment to moment intentionality, may we remember to bring forth to life, to existence, our soul made manifest as flesh, as who we really are, as embodied soul. You won't ever need confidence again when that switch is on, and that is authentic confidence. And you can come back, Vanessa.
I'd almost gone off to sleep with it all, meaning in a nice way. I felt that I had my feet up, sitting up, and then I just felt that I had to put them down into the ground. So my feet were down in the ground. Yeah. And I feel all sort of very kind of now. Liven myself up a bit. And that's what I like. Actually, I kind of needed that today too, because I haven't done a lot of my meditative practices this week. Been so, and this is what happens, you know, as a leader, you'll find sometimes that you get quite busy actually. And some of the things that you should be making space for don't always happen. So that was just perfect timing this morning. I was looking forward to that because I was thinking, oh, at least I'll get the activation with Tess this week. Tell us a little bit, because what I want everyone to know, if you've kind of really enjoyed Tess's work, or you feel that that part of your future is just stepping up as a soul-powered leader and is leading the world or your people, or even, you know, if we want to talk in marketing speech, your target market, into a certain space, and you are stepping in to lead them, then Tessa's work is something that you would really want to be a part of and to become familiar with. So as you can see, Tess really works on the energy around that. So obviously I work a lot on the strategies and the ways and setting yourself up for this and making you go forward with it, stepping out of that comfort zone. But Tess's work really works on that other side of what you need to be able to do this. And that is that energetic work around it as well. So tell us a little bit about the group program, Freedom Leaders, because I know you are just opening that beginning of July, so only a few more days. But obviously, if anyone's interested, they can reach out and ask you about it today, obviously.
Yeah, I'm excited to offer it again. I just graduated a group of 5 coaches. They were all coaches in different stages, but this Freedom Leaders Group Coaching Program is for soul-powered leaders, not just for coaches. It's for anyone who feels that they have work to do, that they're bored to do something, and the ways of the old world is just not matching up any longer. They're just pulling their hair. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be something, you know, what is it that I'm missing? So the Soul Powered Group Coaching Program walks them step by step on really having that foundational 4 pillars integrated: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and spiritual. Where the way I coach is that's really dynamic. Really putting together the 4 pillars so they're not in alignment and they're not contrasting and fighting with each other. I'll read you a testimonial that I just got today.
Cool.
This is Casiana from London, and she said, before working with Tess, I was extremely stuck and I needed clarity about what I wanted to create in the world and how I wanted to do it. Although I had an idea about the vision for my life, it was very vague. So through her coaching program, I began to settle deeper into my true essence and uncover the courage to show up and express myself in my uniqueness. I think that right there, um, it really capture what the program is all about. It's the expressing ourselves in our uniqueness. It's not, who the others are telling us to be. That
Mm.
is no longer working. It's a life of struggle, and a survival consciousness in the old world that we're leaving behind. Now we are being liberated, and as soul powered leaders, we are here, to really play as creator and creation itself. And it's magical when we really connect with that soul power, in our authenticity.
Yeah, and one thing that you said throughout that activation that I sort of really went, yeah, that's so true, is how when we do step up, especially for the first few times, and we'll feel some sort of backlash from the people around us or people that are protecting their old world, and therefore your new voice and your new ways is something that they feel they need to protect. I think that's quite common within our coach and change making space, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's an essence of I need to protect my old way, and so they will try to pull down your voice. And you did say, that's very jarring. So I kind of agreed with you, having been in that space in the past. So, but like you said, when you really step into that authentic confidence,
Mhm.
those voices start to mean less and they start to have less impact. But what I can identify with, and I can assure many that if you have stepped out and have found that that has pulled you back into your shell, and I have heard this from many of not just the coaches I've worked with, but just coaches that I've had conversations with, how that has stopped them. And that's a shame because they've got real work, real leadership, and a real voice to be had, but they allow that jarring effect of those people around them to pull them back. So I love that your work helps them get past that so that they can really do step up. It is actually quite a challenge to step past that, and coming from someone who does have a voice that claims that different ways can work better than some of the old ways that are still taught. And then on the other hand, someone who does have a voice for animals, the backlash, the kickback, that can pull you back in, but it is very much about just stepping up. So
Right.
that's what I love about the work that you're doing as well, because I know that we can really feel that. And so you allowing us to get past that, I think is exceptional.
Yeah. 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 Oh my goodness. We've been trained and programmed to compromise, to self-abandon, to betray ourselves, to
Mm.
be to not be selfish, to always be nurturing about others, and to at our expense. And that formula doesn't work any longer, and it doesn't have to be either or. You can take care of yourself, you can fill your cup first, you can come to that place of unconditional love for yourself, and then from the overflow of that, really take care of others too. But the thing is, when functioning from that fear-based survival mechanism, it's like crab mentality, right? Hey, come back here, come back here, you're not supposed to be there,
Mm.
the tribal mentality. We're seeing that everywhere right now. It's so strong, and you can easily get lost in it. And it's so good, Vanessa, to have you, to talk to you every week, to have that coach to hold your hand, and not only hold your hand, but to really see me from the depths of my soul, because that's so if anything motivates me, if anything moves me into action, it's that. I want to cry just talking about this, because others would say, "Oh, you're just making up excuses. You know, it's your mindset. It's this and that." It's really the dynamic of the four pillars coming together, coming into play. If the physical is not feeling safe, and you're just doing, you're going to end up self-sabotaging anyway. So you're just going to go work against your own progress. So it's a balance of those. But again, we're it's always good to have that mirror and have that leadership of a coach that you trust, that you can feel safe, so that you can fully express yourself without fear, without fear of being shamed or being made wrong, and just that total honoring from the soul level. It's so important to have.
Yeah. And I know that's what you'll give your people who come through coaching with you. I hear so much from your clients as well. I mean, that testimonial you read out, what someone who has just gone through your group program and now you're offering it again, experienced it. I think that's the stuff that I hear all the time about you and your work anyway. So
It's exciting.
So the group program is actually starting in August. So if anyone does feel, oh, this is the space I need to be, because I know I've got, you know, big steps to make in this world, and I really want to work on that part as well as, you know, strategy and all that. I still want to work on this part, this alignment, this energetic work around what you're really stepping into. I would suggest, by all means, just have a conversation with Tess around it. We've put the link there to an information page that Tess has set up, and then of course you can email Tess on that page and have a chat to her, and it begins in August. So I'd say be one of the first to jump in on it and get a place in it.
Definitely, there's an early bird pricing.
Oh, right.
So get on it.
I love a good incentive.
And of course, you know, I love that you're allowing me to support your members here and myself too. So I love the work that you're doing here.
Because what you do,
being able to give back is such a huge honor, and
what you do, I see, is very complementary to what I do. Do you know what I mean? I think the two work together, and you know, when we are stepping up as a coach and a change maker, strategy often is just not enough. There has to be that other side to it. And as you know, I delve into that other side through all my mystical work, which you and I, you know, we have some fun with and all that. And that's my way of enabling that. Yes, I know. I saw that and I thought that just looks fascinating. So, but however anyone wants to apply this, I do believe that this space of stepping up, particularly in the online world as well, is just as important as in the physical space as such, you know, in your local area. So, and you'll work with both, whether they're stepping out as a leader in their local area or whether it is in an online space or whether it's both. I do feel I think you've got to have them both together. So I love what you're doing for these people, and I just think it's so beneficial. So I'm lucky to have access to you as well in return. Tess is on every month here. If you are looking for more soul-powered activations, they are in the units tab. I must go back actually and make sure that they're all there. I have a feeling I might have missed adding some, but I will get onto that and make sure that they all jump in. And you can see that you can just sit back, kind of, like I said, I always just close my eyes and just go with the flow when you're doing these tests. It's just so relaxing. I actually feel like that was like 15 minutes with you. I actually feel that's it. That's my meditation. I'm feeling set for the day now. Done. So, so it's good. That's what I said. I said, oh, I've got it with Tess today, so that works for me. And of course, everyone can connect with Tess. they can just connect with you personally. Obviously, you can send Tess a message. Tess also has a Facebook group called SoulPowered Leaders. You can always join that and connect in that as well. But my suggestion too is, if you want to talk about the SoulPowered Leaders group program that Tess has got happening, how long does it go for?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. So it's a really good immersement.
Yeah.
And I'm not making light, or I'm not actually, on the other hand, also over exaggerating when I say this type of work with someone who is really able to deeply do this work. This is not surface level work that Tess does. It is very deep work. I think is going to actually make you, as a coach and a change maker who is truly stepping out into the spotlight. If you're not prepared to just play it small, this sort of work that Tess offers, I feel, is an essential, just like my strategy and that sort of work and the right ways to do this is essential. This part of it is an essential too. So there's no over exaggeration. Having been someone who has started out on this journey and faced everything that comes, the glory and the not so glorious sides of stepping up and stepping out into the spotlight, building a following and all that sort of stuff. If you don't do this inner, more in-depth work, it can be quite a challenge to push on through. That's just my last words on it. Thank you so much, Tess, and we will get to see Tess every week here throughout not every week, every month here at the end of the month, every Friday, last Friday of the month, you can catch up with Tess in here. And of course, just follow her as well and connect with her, because you'll see more of her on her own space. Thank you so much, Tess, and bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
I'll see you the other end too, because I want to have a chat with you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll see you on the other end. We'll just end this off and then we'll catch up.